Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Lots to cover today. Lots to cover today. And this is, I am Terri Hardin. For those of you who are joining me live, and for those of you who are joining me later than live, feel free to post in the comments on that side or below, depending on YouTube or Facebook. Yes, I am broadcasting on both channels, and that's because I love you so much. Anyway, this is Terri Hardin's AMA, and today we're going to talk about the mystery new pin that I've created. Some of you may know because I've learned that collectors are really great bloodhounds, and they figure it out well before I do myself. So without further ado, let me show you the new pin that is going to be it is available to you now, right now. Some of you who know my dear friend Joshua Schaefer, he's the one I worked with on this pin. And here it is, the hitchhiking ghost pin. Now, many of you probably thought, oh, yeah. And let me just show you a little movie. This is it normal, and this is it glowing in the dark. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? It is so amazing. And if I cut back to this, my like live feed, if you will, I will show you, I'm looking for it because it's buried. I will show you what it looks like in my hot little hands, okay? So one more time, because it's so cool. There it is like that. And there's the movie that will actually do the transition for you. There you go. So on your person, you're going to have this pin. And look at the size of it, guys. It's absolutely super cool. Look at its size. Look at that. It's a nice, big, yummy pin. It's $20. And you can get it at my online store. So all you do is go to my website. Okay, so as I show you this pin, and as I chat with you down here in the corner, and I show you this pin, I'm also going to show you, you go to my website, click on online store, it'll take you right there, and the pin's right there. So it's going to be plus tax and shipping. But order as many as you want. It's open-ended. It's going to make a great gift. They are beautiful. You're really going to be happy. It's great for your collection. And the bonus is I sign every one. So here is an embossing of my name right here. I will sign underneath that in Sharpie. So you get it signed by me too. Okay. Everyone you buy, comes in a nice little bag. Not a fancy velvet bag or anything, but it comes in a bag. So again, you go to terrihardin.com online store, click on my online store in the bar above, and it'll take you right to my store. Okay. Yay. Wanted to make that announcement right out of the gate because you may just be tuning in and going, I want to know more about this pin. Talk about this pin. I may not have time for AMA, so I wanted to make it at the top announcement, right up front. If you're joining me for the first time, this is a great place for you to walk in from the cold reality of life and sit by the fire and have a comfy chat as I tell you stories and answer your questions. Feel free to put your questions in the comments. I'll go to them periodically and answer you. Also, my dear friend Leo Holzer, who just keeps an eye on me and makes sure that I am up and on it, always gives me a list of questions so that that he is collected, because some of you go right to the source and go to him and do the question thing. One of the things that a lot of you have been talking about, and Leo said we should chat about, is this new touch of Disney at Disney's California Adventure starting March 18th. Now, I wanted to point this out to you because this is a very exciting deal, but I believe it's March, let me just tell you, beginning March 18th, Thursdays, offered Thursdays, and it looks like it's Thursday through Mondays, okay? So here, right here, it says offered Thursdays through Mondays from noon to 8 is going to be this beautiful touch of Disney. There it is, right? And what it is doing is it's allowing you, here's my picture. Hi, so that you can kind of see me talking about it. This is going to be fun because you get to actually see characters. You get to look at these amazing foods. Now, Leo sent this to me, but look at these amazing foods here. So you got your Mickey What's-This, whatever that is. And you've got this, looks like a churro. That you guys know this stuff better than I do. This looks like a ham. Let's see what it says. Does it say what it is? Adorable snowman frosted treats, award wieners. Really? Anyway, you get the gist of it. Look at that. And then down here, you get to walk California Adventure. Now, as I've said to you before, California Adventure is a little wider spaced out, so they can do this. Disneyland's a little too close together, so it can't open. But this will allow you guys to get a taste of Disney here. And as I understand it, the Rainforest Cafe has the new Star Wars depot, so you can go visit that. And look, here you can be down there in that beautiful atmosphere, that sort of Arizona, Nevada area where you can see the cars, guys. And here are some of the what you need to know things that I will kind of read to you so you can go. But basically, let me give a shout out to the Disneyland Resort. You can actually just go to the Disneyland Resort, search Disneyland Resort News, and they're going to tell you Disney Resort series. And I'm going to do a shout out to Leo Holzer because he sent this to me. He knows how crazy busy I am, so he's very good about this. But it begins March 18th, and I think tickets start beginning March 4th. See, I remembered. March 4th, they're going to start offering tickets. And it says for select days from March 18th to April 5th. I suggest you get on this because it's going to be like a Disney race. It's going to fill up. I'm not going. Okay. Why am I not going? I'm not going because I'm high risk and I'm young. Young meaning I'm 63, which means it's going to be a little while before I get to have the vaccine. Because doggone it, I'm healthy. But my husband, it looks like in March will be able to, he has a heart condition and he'll be able to get the vaccine. And he feels that if I can't get it along with him, he's not going to get it, which there is our, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. Because right now he just had a birthday. He's 64. He's still too young, but he has a health condition that he needs to get the vaccine. And I need him to get the vaccine. I really do. And then I need me to get the vaccine. So we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works. But the reality is I'll still work hard to protect him until I'm vaccinated. And then I'll still work hard. Okay. Still mask, still social distance. So we kind of are chilling, kind of educated chilling, Okay. But you're someone who really wants to do this. I highly say go for it. Just be safe and be careful. Okay. Best you can. If it looks bad, don't go. Okay. But if it doesn't look bad, go for it. Okay. Tickets are $75. It says it's the introductory price. So what does that mean? I guess that you can, let's see. Introductory $75 ticket. It says parking for the experience. Mickey and Friends parking structure. Thank goodness for that, because that parking structure is absolutely one of the most creative things the Imagineers have come up with. Let's see what it says. Unlimited downloads of Disney PhotoPass photos taken during your experience day. A $25 A Touch of Disney dining card valid towards the purchase of food and non-alcoholic beverages. Subject, it says, to restrictions not being valid for alcohol. Well, that makes sense, right? They want you to use it for food. I mean, come on. That would be, they're subject to change. The ticket prices is what they're talking about. The ticket prices are subject to change. And it sounds like a really fun time, guys. If I was healthy and my husband was healthy too, I might go. But here's the thing. There are people out there, you guys, where you really are missing Disney. And this is going to be something that helps you feel better and cope easier with all the craziness that has happened over the past year and moved into 2021, right? So I don't want to take a ticket that it belongs to someone else. Honestly, I live in California and I go often to sign things for you and stuff. And I'd love to appear there and meet with you guys. Lord knows I really want to get together with all of you. But honestly, no, not it's too soon. March is too soon. And so I'm going to be maybe April. But once you buy the tickets, they're non-refundable. So as far as I know, they're non-refundable. Let's read a little more and see. Touch of Disney tickets will be available on Disneyland.com. Okay, Disneyland.com. And it gives how you go there. So you guys know this. It's Disneyland.disney.go.com. Yeah, nice long title. How lovely. And for select days, March 18th through April 5th, tickets for this experience will be released for dates on a rolling basis until the experience ends. So what does that mean? They're not going to necessarily release all the tickets in one fell swoop. So if I wanted to do, let's say, last day or someday in April, because I think it's safer for us, we might actually have a vaccine by then, that would be very exciting to say, can I have April? Now, full disclosure, though, I probably could call someone at Disney, tell them my situation, and maybe they would do it for me. But like I said, I don't really want to take tickets from you guys. This is highly specialized, highly restricted because it's still under the COVID-19 restrictions and guidelines from the health department. So I don't want to take it from you. So, I'll see it soon enough. I live here and I love you. I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else it says here. Tickets must be purchased in advance online at Disneyland.com, and it gives you that Disneyland.disney.go.com. Woohoo! For a specific date subject to availability, and they put that in parentheses. It also says you can do table reservations for Lamplight Lounge and Carthay Circle. That would be nice. Lounge, Carthay Circle Lounge. Al fresco dining will be made available beginning March 11th. So there you go. Table reservations do not provide admission to A Touch of Disney. So what they're telling you is you got to do your reservations and, guys, and make these and get your tickets. So it's a twofer, right? Welcome to Disney. And that's, this is a way that you can help Disney. That's the thing. This is one way that you could help them out, by giving them your money. Help you, help them, help you. So there you go. Let's see what else it says. It says A Touch of Disney, and they require a Touch of Disney tickets valid on the same day as the table reservation. Isn't it a shame that they have to say that? Let me say that again. You need a ticket for the same day your reservation is, or you can't do it. I just want to say that. And the reason I want to say that is because if they have to say it in here, somebody somewhere did it the other way. It's like the sign, do not enter. If there's a do not enter sign, it means at somewhere, sometime, somebody entered. So that's why they have to be like, you feel this kind of redundancy, but they have to say it, Reservations are recommended and additional details coming soon. Downtown Disney will remain open 7 days a week, which is great. Dining and shopping, Black Tap craft burgers. It really sounds fun. So maybe what I'll do when my husband gets vaccinated, let me speak positively, maybe we'll go to Downtown Disney. And if we do, we'll make an announcement so you can come and see us. If you have to be in the area, you can come and say hi to us. Okay. Because I do want to see the Star Wars trading post. I don't want to buy anything. Seriously. I have my lightsaber. I love my lightsaber. I adore my lightsaber. If you want to see my lightsaber, remind me and I did a whole thing. When I'm feeling kind of melancholy because I'm such a Star Wars nut, I just with that lightsaber I built. at Galaxy's Edge before the lockdown. I thought I was going to sell it. I really did. I just wanted the experience and said, I don't really need the lightsaber here, but I just love the thing. I'm turning it on when I'm feeling kind of, I might feel a little blue. My saber happens to be blue. And I just love the sounds that it makes. So I and just giggle like a schoolgirl because it just really sounds cool. So it was worth the $200. The experience is wonderful. And if you go into the experience as a Jedi, because it's a Jedi training, you actually, because you're so good at your Jedi-ness, you get to go there and build the lightsaber. That's sort of the premise. And if you really buy into that and you do it, you're going to have a great time. When Disneyland opens again, of course. Okay, so where was I here? So you got Downtown Disney. It looks like they've got a lot of new things opening, and they're opening it more. Buena Vista Street remains open as an extension of the Downtown Disney District through March 14th and will be closed beginning March 15th, okay? So if you want to go to the California Adventure, you don't necessarily feel like you want to do this Taste of Disney thing. You got to do it before March 15th because they're going to lock it down March 16th and prepare for March 18th, and it's going to be exclusive. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Why am I walking you through this right now? I'm walking you through this right now because I want you to be safe and I want you to understand what's going on. And they say health and safety is what they've got for everyone in mind. It will operate with limited capacity and hence enhanced health and safety measures based on the health guidances like the Centers for Disease Control, Prevention, appropriate government agencies. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Tickets for the experience will not be available at the resort and are, like I guessed, non-refundable. Okay? Non-refundable. So be sure you get your reservations and your tickets together and that you can actually go. Okay? Because they are saying non-refundable. No discounts apply. No, are limited. They are limited. Their availability is limited. Each guest may purchase up to 8 tickets. That's pretty generous. That's pretty generous. So if you want me to come, just, try to include me close to April. I'll pay you for my ticket. You don't have to buy it for me. But if you want to include me in your group, then just give me a holler. Okay, that's the only way I'm going to go because I don't want to take a ticket from somebody else. But if you've got a group together and you have like 7 and you want an 8th, just let me know. But it's got to be April. Can't be March. March is too soon. April's actually too soon. But talk it over with me if that would make you good. And then let's see what else it says. No refunds given for any changes or cancellations. And they will not even do it if the weather's not good. So if the weather's garbage, they're telling you you're still not going to get your money back. So go to Disneyland Resort and check this out. Thank you, Leo. But Disneyland Resort, this is where Leo got this, and this I'm a part of the Disneyland Resort too. I'm sure I have this in my email, but it's really nice to have someone like Leo have your back. So he always makes sure that he has my back so that I can have your back. So there's that, okay? And then another announcement I want to make for you before we get into our Q&A. And again, to tell you that these wonderful pins are available. Just go to terrihardin.com and click on online store and you can buy them for $20. And they're a nice, big, yummy pin and then plus shipping, okay? Yeah. Multiple, whatever, you get to do it. And once again, here it is so you can see the size. There it is. There's the size. If that doesn't do you for it, here's the size. Look at that. It actually is like an eye patch. It's that big. So you're going to love it. It glows in the dark. $20. That's especially lovely if you loved my glowing ghosts and couldn't budget for them. This is a nice little thing, and it's going to be available until I say it's not, and I will sign the back. So it's embossed in the back with my name, but I'll sign the back, okay, and send those out to you. All right, So what I was going to say is I wanted to share something else with you. Anytime you have a podcast that you've invited me to be on, or an event that you've planned, even if you haven't invited me to be a part of it, um, even if you haven't invited me, I'll be happy to share it here on my live and then on my Instagram. And I did post this on my Instagram. This is called Beyond the Barriers, and it's on Facebook. So you go to Beyond the Barriers on Facebook. It's presented by the Disney Club at UCLA. $5 to join this event. This is tomorrow from 1 to 3, and we're going to talk about diversity. We're going to talk about creativity. We're going to talk about kind of our lives and stuff like that. And I am part of the speaking program. So I will be a speaker on that. If you want to go, it's $5. Go over here on the Facebook. You can see it's called Beyond the Barriers. Great group of gals. Hope you don't mind me calling you gals. Great group of girls. And as Bob Burdine mentioned, Cindy Fortino is a big part of it. But there's a lot of people that are going to come together and talk for 2 hours about all things Disney and our careers and our background. You get to see and hear from me a bit more personally about being half Black. What was my life like? I'm 64, born in 1957. You do the math, and you'll kind of get an idea what my life was like. But I'm happy to tell you about what it is. But I did want to give a shout out to this because it is a great group of girls. I've spoken for them and with them on several occasions. And there you go. I will also, it's also in my Instagram. So I'll repost it in my Instagram again today. But then when you go to my website, which is terrihardin.com, again, I'm going to pop that up for you guys. This is where you can also see my Instagram feed and the latest, because sometimes I don't get into the what I am doing upcoming in my schedule fast enough, but I'll always post it on my Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram. That's Instagram, Terri Hardin Legend. Or if you're someone who's just followed enough people, then just go to my website and find me there, because it's there. Okay. terrihardin.com. Okay. And if you can't remember that or the spelling or whatever, just Google me, because believe it or not, I'm there. Yeah, I'm there. Yes. Okay, great. Okay. I think I have covered a lot of the things that were super, super important to me to cover with you today before the AMA started. I think I have. And I really wanted to tell you about that taste of at California Adventure. And the reason I did, and I'm really glad Leo brought it up, was because I've got people that are just really having small sadnesses or big sadnesses because they can't be around Disney stuff. And this one's going to let you see the characters and everything. You'll probably get to wave. I don't, maybe it's like you turn your back and they're like in the background or something, but they're going to have to protect the characters and protect you and protect each other and everything. So little grain of salt when you go. A little patience. They're doing the best they can. We all are. And do it with love. Do something nice for someone. It'll make you feel better. And so, yeah. So let's get to the questions. And here they are. And I think I answered this a little bit, but I'll answer it again. Someone asks, probably Leo, have you, Lindsay, and other family members been able to get vaccinated yet? And this is a reality, but people want to know if you're safe, don't you? You all want to know. And I'd love to hear if you've been vaccinated and how your experience was. And you can share that in the comments. Absolutely. Because I'm going to go to the comments in a little bit, and we're going to be in that area too. Okay. So here's vaccine update. The biggest challenge for California is that we're not getting enough vaccines into California. And we are a lot of people, because we are a giant state that has a beautiful coast, and we love it here. We have amazing weather. We can go up to the snow or down to the sand in about an hour. And then we can go to Universal Studios or Disneyland, or we usually, when things are open, we can see Harry Potter in the morning and run over and ride, Galaxy's Edge in the afternoon. I'm just saying, okay? It's a lovely state to live in. I was born and raised here. I adore it here. But we're big and we have a lot of people. So the vaccine has been a bit of a challenge, if you will. And so to answer your question, my father went on Wednesday to get his first. And because my dad is a veteran, bless his heart, thank him for his service every day. He fought in the Korean War. He got his vaccine Wednesday, his first, and he said his arm didn't even hurt. So I called him yesterday just to check up on it, and he said, my arm didn't even hurt. The longest it took, my father said, the longest it took was me trying to find the place, because my dad is 86, and he said he got a little turned around, but once he got there, it was very quick. He also wanted me to know that they make you wait 20 minutes to 30 minutes to make sure you have no adverse effects, which is really lovely. I really love the VA and how they take care of my dad. So they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but they do the best they can. And they always take such good care of my father. And I'm very grateful that he is a veteran and that he's got that kind of help. So yay for that. My mother's in a convalescent hospital, so she's done. She had her vaccine and the second one, and she's all styling. And I'm hoping that as things get better and better for her and stronger, that eventually we'll be able to come and see her. We have not actually seen my mom live and in person for over 1 full year. So I miss her, but we talk. We've got this thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, Google Duo, and it doesn't really care if you're on an Android phone or you're on an iPhone, but you can group family members together. Now, you may be saying, duh, everyone does this, but here's the thing that maybe it all does, and I'm just not too bright in this area. You know how I am with technology, but basically Google Duo, I can pick a group. So I've picked a group that's my sister, my father, my mother, and myself. Now, we can't really access my mom because she doesn't really want to have a phone in the convalescent hospital. So I have to email her caregiver, and her caregiver, if available, says she is. And then I can just simply bring in, by a touch of a button, pull up the app and just touch the little faces of the rest of my family, and we're all connected immediately. So that's what I do. I email the caregiver at the convalescent hospital where my mother is. I set up a day, and then I ask my whole family, this is when it's going to happen. Be by your phone, be ready. I try to coordinate with my sister who lives in Maui, and I try to coordinate with my father. Now, my father's easy because he's isolated. So he doesn't go out, doesn't do a lot, maybe the bank once in a while, and then everybody brings him food because he's so lovable. But, and then it's me, my sister, my dad, and my mom, and we get to visit. But that's the best way we've been able to visit. I surprised my mother just a little bit after Valentine's Day with a candy heart and a lovely note, and then a gift from my sister. So we're all doing good. Now, like I said before, I'm 63. Yeah, I'm going to be 64 in June. And so I'm too young, and doggone it, I'm healthy. So I have to wait. But, we might be able, I do suffer from high blood pressure. It runs in my family. So if they allow that to be something that they consider as high risk, I might be able to squeak in. And my husband is, of course, one of those people that will squeak in. He just turned 64, but 65, we don't do that till next year. So so there it is. There's the vaccine update with me. So there you go. There you go. What do you think of Hasbro's decision to make one of its legacy toys non-gender specific by rebranding Mr. Potato Head as simply Potato Head? Yeah, this is kind of funny to me because I want you guys to do something if you haven't done it. This is something that'll be really fun for you pertaining to this question. Go on YouTube. Those of you from YouTube, you're already there. Yay! And if you're enjoying yourself and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. I just would love to have you here as often as possible. And I'm working to get better in my YouTube. You can see that it's kind of hit and miss except for my lives. I'm really nailing my lives, but my other videos are a little hit and miss simply because I'm still working to get it all in my agenda in a timely fashion. Many gurus of YouTube are telling me to pick a day to do it, but whew, I'm not even sure what day that would be. So I'm working on it though, and I love you, and know that at least you get these lives on Mondays and Fridays. You get those. So I'm going to put more videos in there. I'm going to be better and better. But please subscribe if you think this is fun. Okay, so what was I going to ask you to do? Google old television commercials. And I want you to see, like, I think it's old television commercials or 1950s television commercials. And the reason I want you to do this is I want you to look at Mr. Potato Head. When I was a kid, true story, Mr. Potato Head was a potato. Have a potato. Seriously, there was no plastic potato. Hasbro simply gave you the decoration to decorate a potato. So check it out. But I've always thought Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head were Mr. and Mrs. because they were married. So take a look at the old commercial and tell me what you think, okay? Things change, things alter, things switch. So if you're someone who is non-gender and the Mr. bothers you, okay. I loved it as a kid, but like I said, when I had it, I had to find a real potato. And then you didn't leave him on your desk or your table because he might grow eyes or get rotten or whatever. But you could plant him later, take all the things off and plant him later. I think that would be kind of interesting. But check that out, 1950s commercials or old time commercials. Google, put that in the search engine of your YouTube. And I think you're going to have a really fun time checking that out. I mean, it's quite interesting. Yeah, it's definitely, how you say, it's definitely an e-ticket to check that out. And I was thinking of showing you really quickly in the photos, just a little update on the ghosts, okay? That I and it's a kind of a maybe. I hate to say it that way, but I have to say it's a maybe because I can never be sure. But here we go. This one right here. Oops. There it is. There it is. Let me do it again. These are the Blacklight Ghosts. Remember I told you I was doing Blacklight Ghosts? They actually get delivered to me over the weekend. And so I want you all to know that if you ordered a Blacklight set of ghosts, that your Blacklight set will be starting to be put together, and they will be, I would say, mid-March or April, depending on if indeed I get them this weekend. That's why I said, with the harsh reality that we are in from the cold on, sitting next to the fire, I have to be aware that manufacturers are doing the best they can. Post office is doing the best they can. With COVID, things are slow. So, my poor mailman comes between 2 and 8 o'clock in the evening. He always was on my doorstep before at noon. But less people, more work. And that's the story of it. So I will keep you posted. I will send you your tracking number for whether you did the illuminated ones or the other ones. So just know that. And if you have purchased a set of the beautiful illuminating and blacklight ghosts, you will get one of the pins in the box. So surprise. All right. Okay. So there you go. What else was I going to show you? Was there anything else I wanted to show you and share with you before we continue and move on? Yes, indeed. I wanted to show you the lighted ghosts. Yeah. So these are illuminated ghosts. I have 13 sets left. They are amazing. Notice Professor Phineas's bag. His leg shows through the bag. I wanted these to be like little specters so they don't all light up. And this is me turning them off. So off and on. They're beautiful on. They're beautiful off, as you can see. They're very, very cool. So if you want them, you can go to my website, click on online store. They're there waiting for you. All right. Okay. The one thing I will say is 5, they only come out 5 per month and they're limited to 50. So they will be sent to you between, well, now I think I've got June open. So between June and October, but you do have to pre-sell them and there's 13 and then they're done. Yay! Yay. Okay. So Potato Head, I think is, this is the 21st century. So I guess Potato Head works. There's nothing wrong with, if you're someone who's a purist and you want to call it Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head, that you call it that. That's your business, right? I never thought Mr. I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. has never been a real challenge for me. Okay. So it's one of those things that if it's important to the people involved in it, it makes them feel like they're not being ostracized for any reason, then I don't see any problem with it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. In the comments. Or down here. Oh, goodness gracious. What's your stance on raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour? Should Democrats who ran on the issue, and this is definitely a Leo question, stand firm on $15 or negotiate with Republicans who counted with the $10 medium? Well, here's the thing, guys. You have to ask yourself, if you are an employee, this looks really good to you. $15 an hour, a little extra bank to take care of the things that you need to take care of. We all love a raise, right? But you have to bear in mind that if you are working for a mom and pop, a restaurant, or a smaller business, if this applies to those businesses, you might not have a job because they may not be able to carry this. They may not be able to do this. So what I would do is kind of check with your particular situation. If you're in a big place like Amazon, yeah, you should have your 15. Walmart, some of these bigger places, but if you're working for these little places, you have a favorite restaurant, like, well, let's take Gladstone's for fish. It's got a space and it's a beautiful restaurant, but I don't think they could do $15 an hour. I know that they'd like to, they love their people, but I don't know that they would be able to handle it after this pandemic. So I think the timing is a little weird, unless the president is saying that he's going to help these small businesses to do that for their employees. And then, if they're going to help. But the other challenge with this, and this is a bit of reality, it's not a story, this is some reality here sneaking in. The other challenge with this is when the dust clears, how are we paying all of this deficit back? I know we really don't want to think about that, and I won't go into it too much. I'll keep it hearts and flowersy for you guys. But that's been my question is, what happens when the pandemic is finally under control? What then? It's a little scary. Yeah, it's a little scary. As we near the end of Black History Month, who were your Black heroes and role models growing up? Yeah, I had quite a few. Number one Black hero. Number one, can you guess? My dad. Yeah, I knew you'd guess. It's my father. Number one hero, my father, my grandfather, and my father. So my grandfather on my father's side and my dad. Okay, that's two people who, you ever notice that people call you whenever you're live? It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. Someone always does. Anyway, my dad is my number one hero, continues to be my hero, continues to be my champion. My dad was the first Black telephone man in Hollywood, very first one. When he was brought in to get the job, they said, understand you're going to face adversity. You're the first one. You're going to have people that don't like you because of your color, and you're going to have people that treat you poorly because of your color. And all we can do as a company is say, we need you here. We want you here. Try to have the water off a duck mentality. Now, if you're a woman, black woman, a black man, black person, or a woman who's not black, you know that these are some of the things that people ask you to do. Yes, in the society that I grew up, at the time I grew up, if you were a white male, they were getting it over you. They could behave inappropriately, but if you did, you got nailed. You got, bam, you paid for it. You were considered a B word. You were considered inflexible. You were considered difficult to work with if you were a woman. And then if you were a black person, there just wasn't a lot of opportunities at times for you. You had to really fight for them. You still do, I would say. My father took the water off a duck mentality and said, just be the best you can be. And the best way to show a racist, to help a racist get the idea that their idea is stupid, being racist because of skin color, is to be the best black person you can be. Now, this doesn't always work. Many people can cite incidences that this doesn't work. But for my father, it's done very well. He's always been the nicest, sweetest, kindest person. There are times he gets mad. But throughout his life, he tried very hard to just be a good person. That's what he said. Poison isn't bad unless you take it, he'd say. So if someone tells you a poison word, don't react to that word. Try to have a water off the duck mentality. Try to do the best you can. You can't always, but if you start with that, then do your best. There are incidents that we all know about where the person did nothing and then they ended up in a real bad situation. And my parents, my mom and dad both warned me. Okay, in my case, they were terrified of me passing because I'm so light-skinned. And they were afraid that if I dated somebody white and then I had a baby that was black, that I could get in real danger. And it's kind of spoken about in the Imitation of Life movie. Have you seen this movie, The Imitation of Life? The daughter tries to pass. In fact, she tries to disown her mother because her own mother is too black and she's trying to be white. But what is this message? This message is just not for black people. This is for anybody who's trying to pass as something that they're not. It's so much better that we see the real you and the wonderfulness of you, especially when, I'm not saying, if you're don't get crazy if it's a psychopath or a bad person. We really don't want to see you. In fact, you can, find an island somewhere, deserted island somewhere, and it's all yours. But if you're a good person and you're a genuine person and you can't do, you can't, you don't want to apologize for this or this, but you don't also want to put yourself in situations where, and here's was my thinking. My dad is my hero. If I tried to pretend I was all white, what does that say about how I feel about my father, who's black? Okay. It's just not cool. So it never entered my mind, yet my white mother and my black father were really concerned about this. They were really, really worried that I might do this. And there was no way I was going to disown my dad or not acknowledge my father. And I was very happy because he was the best support. And then my grandfather, who was lighter complexion, not like me. I'm just the odd man out. My grandfather said that all men must work for a living, but a wise man plays for a living. And that's what I took to heart. I've always done a job that I thought would be fun and exciting. I've never done a job that felt like real work. And that's because I listened to my grandfather, and throughout life, that's what I looked for. Fun job, interesting jobs. And I had quite a few, some that worked out, some that didn't. I worked at the library because I love to read. And I thought at the times when there were no clients or customers coming into the library that I could sit in a corner and read a book. Nah, that's not the way it works. They make you like sweep nothing, like you're sweeping dust that isn't there. You're dusting books that have been dusted for the 57th time because you're looking busy. I soon learned I hated looking busy. I wanted a job where I truly was busy. So you live and learn. You think, oh, that library job sounds like a real fun one. I got to read to children, which I absolutely loved. But if the kids weren't there to read to, I was sweeping nothing. You know, if you ever see Miracle on 34th Street, that kid who loves to play Santa Claus, he's like, throw it on the floor. There's nothing to sweep anyway. You know, that's what I'm, throw it on the floor. Gives me something to sweep, he says. So that was kind of a drag, you know. And if you were in retail, they really didn't want you sitting and chatting with your associates, even though people were there. They wanted you at attention, ready to serve when, you know, and so another look busy job. So I tried very hard to do jobs that were where I didn't have to look busy. And if you want to know some of the jobs I did as a young person, then, you know, ask me in the comments and the comments here, and I'll tell you some, you know, I'll tell you those stories. You want to hear those stories. Okay. Then other heroes you may know, Sidney Poitier, who was a big one in my life. And I actually got to meet him. Yeah, I got to meet him. We ran into each other, not in the literal sense, but we bumped into each other for real in Venice, on Venice Beach, the year that Halle Berry, who I also know very well, and Whoopi Goldberg, who I've done 3 films with. Another hero of mine is Whoopi Goldberg. I love a woman who is an advocate for Black women. She's an advocate for women. She's an advocate for, she speaks her mind, and sometimes it's not great, but most of the time it's very well. She's so super smart. And I just think Whoopi Goldberg's a rock star. I invite you to, you know, your opinions, but yeah, she's a hero in my book. Sidney Poitier is another one. I just think he's amazing. And then you may find a couple of heroes. I think I talked about this at the last AMA last week, that Spock is a big hero of mine from Star Trek, because Spock was interracial, okay, human and Vulcan, but he was the first mixed person I got to see as a young girl because I loved science fiction. And I was watching Star Trek and saw that he was going through the same kind of struggles I was as a young mixed person. You know, there's things that you go through, and to watch this amazingly interesting character in science fiction, Star Trek, watch that. And then to see a Black woman that was in a, you know, Nicole was another cool thing, you know. But I don't think of myself as a Black woman, although many people do, because they say if you have an ounce of Black, you're Black. But I think of myself as mixed because I cannot say no to either side. I can't say I'm white because that disses my father who's Black, or I can't say I'm Black because it disses my mother who's white. So I'm mixed. I'm interracial. That's the way it is. Ba-bam. Very happy about it. Anyway, but that's kind of the thing, you know. So that was my challenge, where Spock is trying to point out he's not all Vulcan and he's not all human, and he's going through it. And this can be kind of a crazy analogy, but as a kid, you're looking for role models throughout your life, and there weren't a ton. Okay, there were things like Imitation of Life, which meant if you passed, you know, a woman who just didn't like being Black. Some of the things that Spike Lee did and the assumptions he made about interracial people, like Cher's Half-Breed song, that's not the way it is for everybody. It was not the way it was for me. So just, you know, don't buy books that don't apply to you, basically. You know, poison, his father says, poison isn't, you know, doesn't harm you unless you take it, unless you ingest it, unless you make it be on you. It's not on you. Be rubber and let it bounce off as best you can. Yeah, it can always happen. Trust me, I get it. All righty. Okay, yeah. So those are some of my role models. Martin Luther King, an obvious one, but also the message of love is strong, you know. So there's a ton of people that continue to touch your heart, but in my case, many of them are the family, my family, my aunt on my dad's side, my cousins on my dad's side, my grandpa on my dad's side, my dad. So yeah, those are the real heroes in my life that continue to to help me and help me and help me and help me. And then ones like Ernie Hudson, who worked with me on Ghostbusters. You see how I say that? He worked with me on Ghostbusters. I worked with him on Ghostbusters. And one of the things that he said was, he felt really weird signing a poster that didn't even have the Black Ghostbusters on the original poster. And I have to admit, I didn't notice that. Of course, I didn't have an original Ghostbusters poster. My poster of Ghostbusters was the no sign with the ghost. So I never got to see a poster with the actual Ghostbusters. But Ernie made appearances with the other Ghostbusters because he is a Ghostbuster and his picture wasn't on there yet. He was signing it. And he said that was very uncomfortable. And so I hope in this new one, I think Ernie's in it, the new one, he can sign posters where he's on it, and I'm excited about that for him because it's something that I didn't notice. Or my sister, who, when I was a little girl, I was a member of the Girl Scouts, which meant that I started out as a brownie and went all the way up. My sister wanted to be a brownie too because she heard how much fun it was, but she has dark skin. And so when they called her a brownie, it was a whole different meaning than calling me a brownie. You follow me? So for her, that experience was not fun. So she turned in that outfit in a New York Minute and became a bluebird because she did not want that label. It really made her nuts. And it was not kind the way they treated her. So she just changed it up. Sometimes it's a good idea to do a switch than to swim upstream. But sometimes it's important to swim upstream. Pick your battles basically, right? And do it safely. Yeah, do it safely. All right, what else we got here? Have you seen One Night in Miami based on the real life meeting in February between... I have. And I thought the acting was really good. Do I think the story is real? It's a movie. Documentaries tell you the truth and try to give you a chronological telling of the events that maybe you weren't present at. A movie takes poetic license, and they're allowed to. Okay, so a lot of people were saying not quite how it happened, but it's a movie. So, and I think it helps drive home certain aspects in history that we either weren't born or too young, or maybe it's not front of mind. So, this year has been a lot of movies that are based on Black history or based on Blacks in the movies. It's a big, COVID was big for that. And I'm finding it very, very entertaining, but I have to do it in small doses because a lot of them are very depressing. So I don't know how you feel, but I'm in a depressing situation with COVID. We all are. And so to watch more depressing movies, I have to kind of switch it. Okay. I've got to switch it around. And yes, I saw Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is devastatingly difficult to sit through. Not because the performances aren't good. The performances are off the chain. They are amazing, but it's a painful experience, isn't it? It's a rough movie. And so for me, I have to balance rough movies with happy movies like Soul. Soul is wonderful. And I like watching things like Soul intermixed with the others. I have to watch all these movies because I vote. My husband votes for the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, and I vote with the Screen Actors Guild. So I have to watch all of these. That being said, if you guys have HBO Max, you got to watch The Flight Attendant. Wow, what an amazing series. She is phenomenal. The series keeps me, sometimes when you watch a series, you get tired. It's like you feel like the people who created the series are simply stretching it to go over 8 episodes or 10 episodes. And so you start to get bored. If it's an A to Z type thing, you get into around 4 and 5 and you go, oh, please, I don't need to see the back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Just let me see episode 1, 2, 3, and then let me see episode 8, the last one. And you just don't feel like you missed the middle. You feel like they're just stretching it out. Flight Attendant is very different. All 8 matter. Like WandaVision, all 8, WandaVision's like 10 or something, right? They matter. I don't know how many WandaVisions there are, but you don't want to skip anything in WandaVision, okay? And if you're like me, who's not a Marvelite, and I've spoken about this a lot, WandaVision you need to see each one. And it's the first one I'm going to say, you don't wait till it entirely drops. You watch it each week. It's a lot of fun to hear from the Marvelites who tell you what's really going on. And last week was confusing as heck to me. I had to spend a real session with my husband as he sort of helped me to understand what I might be experiencing. Okay, because I felt one way about this last episode, and I'm not going to do spoilers, and he felt a different way. And he explained to me, because I'm big eyes now. I want to know from my Marvel husband who has read the comics, and he knows all of the backstory, and he understands, you know this person. You may live with a person like this who knows everything about Marvel, from the comic books to the movies to the concept to who owns Spider-Man versus who owns Wonder Woman versus who. Don't care. No. Just let me know when they're on, and if I like them, I'm going to watch them. I don't need to know who owns them and what they did as a comic book or anything, unless it's pertinent to the development of the character that I can understand. So for me, I just want the Cliff Notes version, and that's great. Well, this last WandaVision, and of course, the new one drops today, right? It's probably already dropped, but we don't watch it till Saturday or Sunday because we do it together. And my husband works evenings. So we wait until we can sit together and watch it. And sometimes we watch it twice. This last time, my husband wanted to watch it 2 in a row because he wanted to make sure he didn't miss anything. And then he'll go on to a couple of YouTube channels where you have the mega Marvelites, the Marvelites who are sleeping in the bed sheets and wearing the helmets and stuff because they really know what's going on. A lot like me in Star Wars in the old days. My Star Wars now is that if I like it, I watch it. If I don't, I don't. It's a little different for me. But the Marvelites watch everything, and they devour everything, and they chew up everything, and they, and I watch as much Star Wars as I can, but I'm working. So I don't get to do that. But the point is that, shows like WandaVision, they kept me interested, confused, curious, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas some of these series, you watch it and you just go, ugh, it's just droning on and on, get to the point. This should have been a movie. 2 hours stretched to 9. And you know what series those are. I'm not even going to mention them. Some series that just don't stretch well, don't build well. Back to what I was saying, The Flight Attendant, it builds very well. It entertains me. Each little diamond is different. And the actress who plays the flight attendant is brilliant. And the cast around her is amazing. A lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. And I never, ever felt like I needed to skip to the back. I actually binge watched it all night until about 2 a.m. because I just wanted to know how it was going to wind up. We had all these theories and we had all these ideas, and we were like, who, what? It's very clever. It's very, very clever. And the opening sequence reminds me of my husband and I said this all night last night, and now I can't remember it. Mad Men. There it is. Whoop, whoop, brain fart. Mad Men, which was a series I absolutely adored. It was on for a long time, and honestly, it just kept me going. Great acting, great people, wonderful. And the opening is like Archer. The opening sequence is animated, and it's like Archer and Mad Men. And so I'm not a big fan of Archer, but I really loved Mad Men. So it just automatically endeared itself to me with the opening credits. Very cool. So if you have HBO Max, you might want to check that out. And if not, it may come to a Hulu or a Netflix near you later. But right now, it's not. It's its first season, and it's a good one. It's really good. The people are just good. It's great. It's fun. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's got certain people that I've seen a lot that are doing different roles, and they're doing a great job. I can't remember the names right now. I haven't really focused on that, but you'll recognize them if you have it. So that's another one I highly recommend. It's just wonderful. It's just fun. It's really cool. Okay, so I have seen that. I have seen the other. And then WandaVision is the next question. So I just did that. Big twist, yes, but one that my husband expected and I did not. And I'm still not sure if it's telling me the truth. You know, I'm suspicious. My husband, I don't know if my husband's suspicious, but his wife is suspicious. Yes, she is. She's not sure we're being told everything. I don't know. There's still more episodes, right? So wow. I think this is warm enough. So wow, you know, I don't know that we're being told everything. I don't know if what I saw is what I get. There was a lot of cool stuff happening in there, which my husband says was to be expected. That's you Marvelites. You guys just know everything. But me in the dark, I'm looking at the light going, did I see what I just saw? And how do I feel about it? Do I feel the story developed in such a way that it's kind of warmish, but that'll be all right. Or, you know, do I feel differently? I don't know. I am excited to learn more, and I'm happy that I only have to wait till tomorrow when my husband is available to watch it with me. Because I love that show, and I am not a Marvelite. As I've mentioned before, it's a great time to watch with my husband. He loves Marvel, and he embraces it. And it's really nice to share with someone finally something that, you know, we can both talk about. So thank you again to WandaVision. So then he's asking me about updates. Yeah, well, we told you about the Disney pin, this wonderful giant pin that you can get. So please do. You can also join my Patreon page. And if you'd like to join my Patreon page, here's where you go. This is where we get together. I do a live broadcast before I come see you every Monday and Friday. And then we have a Zoom call. And we've just moved it to 11 Pacific for all of the tribe to get together, because then we get to have like a coffee chat, dinner chat with Germany, Paris, UK, other places that a lot of times don't get the opportunity to be on that Zoom call, and we wanted to accommodate everybody. So we have a lot of fun. It's $5 a month. You get a lot of content, you can help other people. You can be helped by other people on this page, because there's a lot of artists getting together, sharing their art, and helping you get started creatively if you want to. Also, they share their creativity. As I've mentioned before, an artist is someone who's passionate about what they do. It doesn't necessarily mean drawing and painting, acting, sketching, music, although all of those are included and we all share. And that is what's so lovely about here. I think your voice is very, very much needed. And I would love for you to be a part of it, which is why I keep that base level at $5 a month. And that is my largest level. That's the most. And there's other levels that are higher, and people do those, but they're very, very patient with me, because I do behind the scenes pretty good, but I'm still working on my training ones. So my suggestion is to start at that level. And then if you see something that's interesting as I get better with my posts on the Patreon pages, well, you can always upgrade, right? If you want. but I'm perfectly happy to have you floating along at the $5 a month and joining us. You get a private Facebook page where we get to chat it up and all kinds of fun stuff. I give away stuff, that's not a reason to join because you never know. But I do that. And, because I have this extensive collection, and the best way that I can do it is to make it available to my patrons. It's a lot better than going on it, say, an eBay. I will sell some things on eBay because it's a little bit crazy, but a lot of times I will just, give it to the patrons simply because I know you guys are going to take care of it and you're going to love it. So if that sounds good to you, then please go over, take a look at the tiers and join us. We are a great group of people, and we'd love to have you and your voice. Okay. Okay. If you think that's salesy, then I'm sorry, but I don't think so. I think I want as many diverse voices as I can have, which is why I keep it at the $5 a month level, that base tier, because I want a lot of voices in the tribe. I have learned from the tribe how amazing it is to have your voices. You guys have actually made it into something really supportive and wonderful. If someone comes in and they want to learn how to draw, paint, illustrate, maybe they're curious about comic books, which was me personally, and we have an artist in there who is the guru of comic books and comic stories. So if that's something that interests you, this guy is amazing. We also have painters who paint really well in acrylics. There's one that works with recycled material. That's my girl, Janie G. You've got Melissa Eiler, who creates things out of melting things together and pouring them and doing cool stuff. And then you have people who clean, and they kind of sit with you and share with you cleaning tips or how to be safe or how to make cleaning go faster. Isn't this not a guru? Music, someone who really puts lights to music, and he talks about how you can do that. So if you're someone who likes to do, like, say, you've seen those beautiful, and Christmas comes to mind, holiday lights where they're synced up, this guy talks about how you can do that. And he shares it. We got all kinds of amazing people in there, right down to little Bella, who will just talk to you honestly about her love of life and her journey through it, which always isn't easy for a 9-year-old. We have amazing people like Holly Mack, who has 2 little kids and helps us to understand why it's so important teachers get vaccinated from a parent point of view. So it's all kinds of great people. It's a private area, so you can speak freely. I let you know if I'm recording it, usually spotlights that we have you on. But that's what that's about. It's about, believe me, I'm giving way more than $5 a month. Just ask anyone who's in the tribe. So that is not the point of it. But the $5 makes it a membership site, and it helps me to be present in a very busy schedule. So it's not a lot to ask, really. So that's why I'm saying, come in, put your bunny slippers on and visit with us, because you get private Facebook Lives Monday and Friday before I come here, and a Zoom call, which we spend 1 to 2 hours on every week. And you can come and go. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. So there you go. That's it. There's that. There is the situation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot over to your comments, because you can ask some questions. I did a light fair day, and I also have questions. If you're too shy about questions, etc., then I can fill it in the blank with questions if you have them. One of the things about the Hitchhiking Ghosts that I'm doing these custom boxes, and one of the things that I've been doing all by myself is cutting out these shapes. Isn't this funny? This looks like some sort of Stonehenge thing, maybe. But I'm cutting out these shapes, and the reason I'm cutting out these shapes is because I have to stack them like this to make a pocket like this. You see that pocket? So this one is the next one, and I have to glue them on one by one. Okay. Now and then the characters, the ghosts, fit in here, and that makes them safe. And then up here is where the batteries go. So I make these. Thank God there's only 5 a month. but I make these little socket things so that they're protected. The ghosts come to you very, very protected and very, very safe. Usually, if it wasn't COVID-19, what I would be doing is having all of you over for coffee or tea, and everyone would be carving all of these little all of these little wafer thin things like this. It takes 11 of them to do it right. And I'm super jazzed that it's going the way it's going. I mean, I just put on a movie and glue them down, but I've got to do 50 of them times 11. So you do the math. But luckily with the illuminating ghosts, they're only coming out 5 a month. So that gives me time. However, the Blacklight Ghosts are arriving, and they're going to be delivered in April. And that's one of the reasons I'm telling you they're arriving in March sometime. And then I have to do a similar thing, and I create an experience for every single one. So this is what I'm talking about. You have to create, if you want to, in today's world, I think if you're going to sell something, unless you're Disney, but even Disney will do it to a certain extent. I just think you want to do an experience. If it's important to do, pins are kind of different because the experience for the pin, I have a little bit of a thing. I'll send you my logo's attached, and I send a nice note with it and everything, and you get the pin. But for these elaborate sculptures that I do for people, and for the one of a kinds that I do for people, like I showed you last time, this is how it works out. So let's go over to your comments. A lot of them are going to be, hi, how are you? Hello, which is what I love. But then I think you guys have questions. You can also ask me questions about dinosaurs. And oh, yes, I just said the magic word. You may have been listening and wondering what happened to that giveaway that Terri was going to do based on if you write me your childhood dinosaur story. I'm so sorry. Life got away with me with the hitchhiking ghost, and so I'm going to come back and address that now. If you sent me a story, do me a favor and send it one more time, okay? Send it to my, let me just show you. Send it to, here we go. Terri at terrihardin.com, or if you are my friend on Facebook, message me through Messenger. And if you're a patron, you can do it through the Patreon page. Basically, this is if you want to. All right, what did I do with them? See, they ran away. Doggone it. That is just... Terri, it's too much. Let's see if I put them over here. No. I don't know what I did with them. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. It's just me being a little off. But anyway, you remember I had some pins and some dinosaur paraphernalia that I was going to let you get. I was going to give you if I liked your story. And I'm sorry because I don't know what See, you can do this too. I'm not perfect. And I'm going to come back here one more time and ask myself what I did with that. But it looks like Terri has absolutely no clue what happened to that. My humblest apologies. But I will find it. They're in here somewhere. I have no idea why they scooted away. But they're in here somewhere. But I have the buttons and the little things like that from dinosaurs, and I did it on a previous broadcast. And what I'm saying is that I have some swag, some dinosaur TV show swag that you can win by sending me your childhood or your favorite memory on dinosaurs, mainly because I want to hear it. I did these in the 90s. And many of you were young kids. Many of you were just growing up. And if you're showing it to your children now, feel free to let them chime in with their favorite thing. And then by Monday, I will show you what I actually have to offer. I can't believe I can't find it at all. It's like, oh gosh. Just when you think you're sailing right along, honestly, you think you're cruising right along at a good clip, and then something comes along to make you humble. So this is my humble moment. I'm definitely not perfect, not really on the ball as much as I'd like to say. So I'm just taking a moment to stir my tea and make sure I have that, because that's a wake up, Terry. It's time for, knowing about your tea and everything. But I wanted to talk to you about that. Okay, so let's run over to your comments. And but when in doubt, Terri at terrihardin.com, and you can sign up for notifications. And when you do, when you attach yourself to terrihardin.com, there are drawings you can download that I did, Disney drawings, fun little sketches, some of my sculptures and stuff. And I'm going to also be doing some things like, for example, a little document that says how to be an Imagineer in today's world, things like that. But feel free to sign up if you want. And you don't have to worry about me spamming you. You probably just have to mostly worry if I'm going to email you at all. Seriously. Angie is to the house first and foremost, ready and waiting. Welcome. Friday, friends, let's enjoy. Yes, let's enjoy. And I do have pictures if you have questions. So good morning again. Good morning, Bob. So basically what I'm saying here is, if you ask me questions about dinosaurs, you may have some questions on how many puppeteers did it take to operate the dinosaur? What's it like to do blocking when you have a tail for the characters of dinosaurs? How long a person stay in a suit? How many people? How do you communicate? What do you do with the scripts? Is there a table reading? Who did the drawings? Anything that you want to know. Opening sequence. Why did they use fertilizer? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And then I'm more than happy to chime in with my questions, but feel free. If you want to talk about Captain EO, if you want to talk about Ghostbusters, if you want to talk about things that aren't Disney, if you want to talk about what do I love outside of Disney and Star Wars, because I do have a passion for things that are very different, and I could show you some of that. I love books. I have a lot. Things like that. Okay? So any question, if you want to know about what it's like to be mixed, or what my life was like growing up mixed, because it was different from my sister who looked black. I didn't look black, and I had hair that looked like a dandelion. So you can imagine how I was bullied. But all that stuff, happy to say. Hi, Randy. Congratulations on getting your Tigger. I saw that you really liked it. Good morning, Melissa. So cool, the hitchhiking. Yeah, they really are nice. And it's a big, broad spectrum. So you've got the Ultra Cadillac version. You've got the amazing Cadillac version. And let me just pull them up again. Everybody is wanting to talk to me. Why? You asked the question, and I invite you to answer it. Okay, so here is the Cadillac version. This is the version that illuminates. There's only 13 left. They're $1,299 plus tax and shipping. So they would be your Cadillac version. The next ones are your, here we go. The next ones are the Blacklight Ghost versions. Here's the way they look when they are not blacklight. They look like little stone guys, which I think is very cool. And then those are the lighted ones, kind of up against it when I turn the lights off and on. Let me just find the, gosh, too many people talking to me today. Here we go. Okay, so this one here is the actual blacklight effect of them. The Blacklight Ghosts are $750 plus tax and shipping. Tax if you live in California. Tax and shipping, and they will start to ship March, April. So late March, beginning of April. But they are very lovely, $750. Limited edition to 100. Their own box. They are going to have their wonderful experience as well. Then you've got the Cadillac versions I showed you before, all the way down, well, not down, but all the way to the super affordable, wonderful, supercalifragilistic. Terri pauses for effect. Terri pauses for effect. The right down to the amazing pin. So the pin is $20. You can have as many as you want, and I'm going to sign them. So there you go. Okay. It's an open-ended edition. This is why we kept them at around $20, because you can have as many as you want, and you can wear them. You can give them as gifts, whatever you want. This is so you have a gambit. This is what I try to do as an artist, is give you something that fits your budget. If your budget can handle the Cadillac, get the Cadillac. There's 13 left. Believe me, it's going to appreciate in value, because I'm not doing another one. No more for a while, because it's a lot of work. It took a lot of my blood and bone, and I'm very, it continues to make demands. And then the Blacklight Ghosts, I think, are going to be super cool. And I'm going to send a couple of little black lights with it. Some people said they didn't need the little black lights, but I'm going to put them in there so that if you do need them, you got them. Okay, I'm going to put 2. I know there's 3 ghosts, but I'm going to put 2. And if you can, if you're really clever, you can also purchase a flashlight or whatever. I don't want to make this decision of how you're going to blacklight. Many people that I've spoke with that have ordered the Blacklight Ghosts are setting up a little shadow box, are doing their own electronics and stuff, which I don't even have, but I'm not even about to do it. Okay. If you need more, I'll work to have a link where you can buy more of these little black lights if you like them. Okay. All right. Maybe a discount. I don't know. I'm trying to talk to the company and see if they'll cut me a break on them. Okay. All right, cool. And then I can share them with you. Okay. So there you go. So that's what I mean. Thank you for telling me the ghosts are amazing. I'm very proud of them. The presentation is off the chain. If you saw my Monday broadcast, my dear friend Kevin Wiedenweber called me from the hospital to tell me how much he loved these ghosts. And that really touched my heart and let me know why I work so hard to bring you the ultimate experience and everything I work on. So, and I keep it to 1 or 2 things a year. And this year I'm going to do the Cheshire Cat. Josie Katz is responsible for suggesting that. So Cheshire Cat will be coming, but he will probably be more like October-y in there, more fall, so that we can kind of get, through the ghosts. And then in the interim, I'm working on my own stuff and the chess set. Yes, the chess set is beginning to be figuring out how we're going to offer it to people, because you think the illuminating ghosts are expensive. Ooh-wee! This chess set will be something else. So we've got to try and figure out how we're going to offer it to people. It's going to be something. Hello, Randy. Yes, I know you did. Were you absolutely shocked and surprised? It is a beautiful piece, isn't it? I certainly hope that watch is just a battery change. I never really wear the watches. I have one Tigger watch that I wore until it literally dropped off my wrist. But I don't usually, and then I have a Kermit the Frog watch that I wear that Jim Henson gave me. And I had a really cool Paris watch that again fell off my wrist, and I need to replace the band, and then it will probably go back on my wrist. Right now, I have a beautiful one that's done by a wonderful company that is all women run. And I really love this watch, and it's got that blue face on it and stuff. It's seriously gorgeous. I should post here. I'll do that next time, post on Monday, maybe who they are in case you're interested. But I love to have a rich wristwatch. It's just it's my history. I have to be honest with you, as grew up with a wristwatch. Okay. Grew up telling time. So the phone is great. It's wonderful. Believe me. But I feel, some people have to have like a necklace or something, makeup. I have to have a wristwatch or I feel absolutely nude. So, so I'm always about the wristwatch. I know that's something you didn't ask about, but I thought to mention it. I love that pin. Thank you, Julie. Well, now you can go to my website and grab that puppy. And it's big. Look at that. As big as my glasses. Yeah, it's wonderful. And it was great to work with Joshua Schaefer. I'm going to give a shout out to Joshua Schaefer because he has Disney pins. He does all kinds of wonderful Disney pins. And he worked with me on this one. And this has my signature on the back. And then I'll sign it for you. And also right down to these nice little light blue locky things, which I thought was really a nice, cool touch. But he's the one that helps me to envision the whole experience across the board. And he's the one that suggested these should glow in the dark. And I'm so grateful to him because they really, it really does add a nice touch. And they really are beautiful, not glowing, which was my concern as an artist. I thought, are they only going to be cool glowing and not like this? Are they going to be like a little blobby and, So, but you can visit my store, go to my website, terrihardin.com, online store. And there's a few other pins there that I've done. And I think they're all still in stock. I think, I've got a cute Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and stuff like that. So you want to see him, just say in the comments and I'll pull them out. Or I may do it anyway. Love, love, love the pin, says Linda. Well, good. I'm so glad you do. Yes. I think it's a nice thing that you can have. So, and it's my ghosts. So that's the other thing that's really nice. It's not the Hitchhiking Ghosts. It's Terri Hardin's Hitchhiking Ghosts. So they are from my drawing, which also Joshua suggested that I do. And they're from my drawing. So you can see this here. And they represent both the Blacklight Ghost set and the Illuminating Ghost set. And they come from my actual sketches when I was working on the concept design of the ghost set. So, we're mystery pin day today. So we keep flashing back to that as well. I want to. Bonnie says, happy Friday, everyone. I was leaving for work and remembered AMA Day. Got excited to see everyone. And we're excited to see you too, Bonnie. I'm so glad you showed up. It's great to see you as well. Cindy's in the house. Cindy, hello. I have just announced the latest Disney Club, UCLA groups presentation. We went dark there. And so I wanted to make sure everything's cool. It's interesting because I don't think my husband is online. Yeah, we're in the right spot. So it looks like with StreamYard and Facebook, we might be a little dicey. So if I fade in and fade out, do not change your television set. Okay. But Cindy, she works with this group. They're a great group. And I'll be speaking that tomorrow. And that's I can pull it up again because I want to. That's the Beyond Barriers, and that's right here. So Cindy is helping them with Beyond Barriers, and it just talks about getting beyond barriers pretty much. But, all of the barriers that people face, they all face some barriers. It doesn't really, some more than others, but we're all dealing with barriers. So I hope you go there. It's $5 to be a part of it and see me. 2 hours of yumminess for $5. Pretty good. Yay, Leo, thank you for your work, says Bob. And yeah, Leo has my back. He really takes good care of me. And the cute thing about him is he feels bad when he can't always give me a huge list of questions or he's got a life. And honestly, he doesn't have to stay the whole time. He tries the best he can. He makes suggestions. He's really great. It's great to have someone like that when you're doing a channel like this that and he does it out of the goodness of his heart, which I really appreciate. Angie says, I'm so excited. I'm going to own a Terri Hardin signed in, order placed. Oh, yay. I love those fast action. I'll get that out to you this weekend, huh? And you bet you're going to have it. And then feel free to show it off, do a little fashion show that I can see it, and tag me on it because I'd love to see how you work with your pins and stuff. Same if you get the Blacklight Ghosts, please show me there's people out there. I know you sent me some amazing shadow boxes, miniature sculptures, designs in your house. This wonderful man, George, who does Pegasus Loft, which is his page, is amazing. And he's about to get his ghosts this month. And he just fascinates me with how beautifully he is designing his display for his collection. So let me live vicariously through you, because a lot of mine is going out to people who deserve it, like all of you. And I am excited too, Angie. Wish. Hello again. Hello again, Dr. D. Rose will be getting it very soon. Rose, we have them. We have them, my dear. So grab it, early. I am going to put, Josh Schaefer and I both feel like you're going to go really fast. And this isn't a ploy. This is not a ploy. Really feel that this ghost pin is going to go very fast. So I'm kind of thinking I maybe should get with him and we should put in another order so that we can continually make sure that you guys get them when you order them. So the one thing, the ghost sculptures, a little more challenging. You got to prepay them, but we'll work hard with the pins to make sure that you got that. But I'll talk with Josh and we'll make sure that we keep doing it. Okay. And I will sign the back of mine. Now you can buy them from Joshua Schaefer, and I highly encourage you to do that on his Etsy store. But because I can't get together with you, to be told, I can't sign the back of the ones she sends. Doesn't mean that when we're back at visiting and meeting, you bring it with you, I'll sign it. Okay. Yeah. I don't mind doing that for you. For a donation, okay? And I have to, when you get my signature on something that you bring, I always ask a donation, okay? The donation is usually $20 for my signature, okay? This is why. Because there are artists out there like Margaret Carey and Bill Farmer who have made it very clear to me that this protects them as well, because they charge $20 for their signature. And so if I don't, then it could make people like them who ask for this, and many people, not just Margaret Carey, and I'm just naming 2 people, but all of the people who do the signature, if you donate $20 is usually, it's like a regular, like, when you tip, what is it, 15% in a restaurant? It's just a courtesy, okay? Are we gonna, strangle you if you don't if you don't do it? No. But if you buy the pin, if you happen to buy it for me, and then don't feel like you're up against it, because we both, Josh and I, work together, so that's doable. And I always say a donation. So yeah, that's just kind of the way I feel about it. So, okay. Bob Burdine says, that's why I asked Adam. Got the call because of the photography. And if you break it down, you're getting free food, parking, you're getting into the event, and really a bargain. Yes, it's great. 9 of us are going. They're all going to go. Well, they've been vaccinated. Just so you know. Because they are in the demographic that can do it. They're high, I'm not even going to say anymore. So it is a good thing. You got vaccinated, you're good, you're going to social distance, you're going to do your whole thing. And Adam, who is in the tribe, he could get a call. He could. But he was Disneyland. And I would imagine, and this is just a theory, Terri Hardin's theory, that they're going to pull photographers in California who work the California Adventure Park first. That's my thinking. And Adam, bless his heart, he's a real good grain of salt love. And he'll be there. He'll be there to jump in when asked, Good morning. Still planning a trip to Southern California, maybe in July. Fund willing. Well, monitor us, Michael. I'd love to see you, but monitor us. Monitor California. Okay? Really watch us closely. Really tap into, now KTLA 5 has a app for your Roku, your Amazon stick to stream called KTLA 5 Plus. And it doesn't cost anything. And that is our local news. That is a great way to keep on top of what's happening in California locally. And it doesn't cost anything. Just download it and then watch it occasionally. If you want to know before you come, just study the area. Okay, so you're safe. Because if we explode again, which none of us wants this, but if we explode again, you need to know it. Okay. And when we come into the summertime, see, one of the biggest challenges for the people of California is when we're on the beach, we do not social distance. We have a real problem with it on the weekend because the coast is so beautiful. The water's so amazing. The water's cold. We love it cold. But the beach just gets packed. It's just not safe during the weekend. Seriously, in Southern California. I can't speak for Northern California. I don't live there, but I almost can bet it's the same. So this is why you got to keep your hand on the pulse of Anaheim, Orange County, California. Just watch so you're safe, okay, Michael? Because I don't want you jumping from the frying pan into the fire. I love you guys, and you want to be safe, right? And our president said, pray for Christmas, just so you know. Pray that we can have Christmas where we don't have to mask and social distance. And that is a reality check, isn't it? Okay, sorry. Supposed to be in from the cold from reality, but I want you safe. Arg, says Diane. She's right. Deanna's right. I tried to order one, but got ghosted. Russell, you are so cute. You're very, very cute. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Life, isn't it? I'm so glad. I wanted to make sure you could do this. How is your friend in the hospital doing? Thank you, Mark, for asking. That would be Kevin Wiedenweber. And on my Patreon page, we do a Zoom call every Wednesday, and I did it. We just shifted it. It used to be 9 a.m. Now it's at 11 where we all get together. And I make breakfast for myself and my husband. Maybe sometimes I'm making breakfast while I'm talking with everybody. But the reason we did 11 o'clock is so that people from the UK, Germany, France, etc., can join us at a decent hour. And that's their evening. So I'm encouraging anyone in the UK to bring their supper and join us. But to answer your question, Kevin got on with us live on Zoom, and it was just wonderful. Him and his lovely wife, Crystal, and they chatted with us about the ghost. He received his illuminating ghosts and how special they were to him. He also had saw the Monday broadcast and didn't realize that he had made such an impact on me, but I didn't want to keep him. He was very tired and in the hospital, but he's out and he's isolated right now near the hospital. They want to make sure that they can keep an eye on him, but there was no reason for him to be in such surroundings. And so they've provided a little apartment nearby where doctors can keep an eye on him and see how he's doing. So thank you for asking, Michael. I really appreciate that. And that's what I love about people like you, is that it makes things very, very special. You all do. And I really want to thank you for it. And Kevin's a real special person, and we loved speaking with him. And then he was very happy because I did a Guess the Mystery pin on Patreon, and a lot of you guessed it. A lot of the tribe guessed it, so they get a free one. So I do all kinds of stuff like that on the page. It's a real fun group, and it's not because I'm there. I can't say that the Patreon page is successful because of me. It's successful because of all the people who have come and joined it and been a part of it and shared their voice. And I just thank you for being a part of the tribe. If you are, and if you're not, please go check it out, because it's a great group of people getting better every single day. Here is Liz. Hello, I just tuned in. I like the idea. California Adventure opening. The distance character meets work well at Paris. So Liz is a Disneyland Paris person. She's out of the UK, and she lives in the UK, and she's always sneaking off to go to Paris, even when she's not supposed to. She is the little stealth girl that sneaks over there anyway. But she stays very safe, comes back in quarantines per the UK. But now Paris is not open. So she is staying at home and just kind of sharing with us things like this, right? And she meant, yeah, and she just let us know how the character meets are going to be, because Disneyland does confer with all the other parks in the area. I'll also tell you that I think Hong Kong Disneyland, it was slated to open yesterday. I don't know if it did. I have a very dear friend who works there and he's been working from home, but he's hopeful that it is going to open up and start to have guests under the restrictions out there in Hong Kong. But that's a very beautiful park. If you haven't had a chance to see Hong Kong Disneyland, you really need to. And what I'll do, I'm working on a video for the patrons to see behind the scenes, but also a little on YouTube too. I'll pull it up and let you guys see it at some point. All of this is in the works. I'm just doing the best I can. How fun would it be for a few of us to get together later in the year for it? Yes. Well, yeah. And, you know, once the pandemic is under control, we have herd immunity. We're able to sort of function in whatever way that's going to be when we kick this thing to the curb, right? I want to get together with as many of you as we can. And we have just we can meet at Disneyland or Downtown Disney or California Adventure Park and have a bite, you know, dessert or a sandwich or chips or whatever. And then we can just kind of have a discussion live and in person. Wouldn't that be neat? Could be something as simple as the Earl of Sandwich, where we're all sitting outside having a good time. Or we could go into one of the restaurants and do the same thing. So I'm open. You know, you don't have to have a pass. You don't have to go into some place where you're spending a lot of money. We can stay in Downtown Disney and do it. I'm perfectly open to doing that. Another place I love, you all know, is Trader Sam's. But Trader Sam's a little more challenging. It's a little more tight. So it will really depend on how things go. But I'm saying once we can take the masks off and be like ourselves again and start to really, you know, we can try and do that. I would love to do that with all of you guys. And of course, my patrons, we're doing the same kind of game plan. So yeah, absolutely, Bonnie. Absolutely. And then I'm planning a trip to the UK. When COVID-19 hit, I was supposed to go see all my friends like Liz Reed in the UK. And my friend Michelle Gilstrap / Tate, she is now married, so it's Michelle Tate. And my little dear Bella, she was going to take me around. I love Doc Martin, and they were going to show me all of this. My friend Damian Morley, who have this beautiful little puppy and great children, who took me to see Harry Potter. I wanted to see my London friends and John and Sally and Andreas. I wanted to see the people that I've missed. You know, I wanted to go and see them, and it all locked down, as we know, and I haven't had to. So it's gotten the chance to do so. So as soon as it opens up, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. You know, when I had Michelle come down and I had Andreas and Sally come down, and my husband, who works with Universal as a he's a producer, filmmaker, promo. He gave them a tour so that they could walk around Universal and see what it's like to walk some of those sets, because like some of you have mentioned, you like the Universal Monsters, or you like Back to the Future, or you enjoy that one, what was it called? Can't think of it, but I'll think of it in a minute. You like Psycho, one of the airport films. All of these sets are there, but we walk amongst it, and it's really fun. So it doesn't happen all the time, and now it doesn't happen at all because of COVID, but at the time it was really cool. One of my favorite ones is to see Jaws from a different angle where the shark attacks. So it's cool. It's just a lot of cool stuff, and they came and they visited and stuff like that. Liz, you got a scooter today. Oh my goodness. What warranted you getting a scooter today, eh? My turn to ask you a question. What was that about? How cool. Liz says, you know, I had a dose of the Pfizer jab and it was fine. Now waiting for the second one. Now, here's the thing Liz talks about. It's been longer for her. And because they were having trouble getting that second dosage in London too. So we're hoping that they get their second dose. Here in California, you couldn't, I haven't listened to the news in a while, but it's with the vaccine challenges that we have, first dosers have had to wait a little bit and to make sure second dosers get their second dose. of the vaccine. So they say it should be better this week, and maybe it is, because like I said, I haven't had a chance to listen to the news. I've been out running errands and doing things for my family. My dad did get it, as I mentioned. So it's all good, man. That's another one. Better Call Saul. It's a great series if you haven't seen it. Had my first shot, says Linda, last Monday here in New Jersey. My arm was slightly sore. Next morning, that's all. Yes, and they say that sometimes the second will give you some effects, but it doesn't last very long. It's all worth it. They're all saying it's all worth it. In fact, if it hasn't happened now, it's supposed to happen very soon. The Johnson & Johnson one, which isn't as effective. Like the other two are more like 94%, and it's like in the 70, 80 category. But a doctor came on and said, hey, if you're being it offered, take it. Don't be waiting for the ultimate. Just if they offer you the vaccine, do it. And so that's the camp that I'm going to hang into, really. I think it's weird that they eat potato chips. That's more offensive than Mr. or Mrs. Angie, that's brilliant. She's right, you know. Another thing I didn't think of. We're just going to let Angie's comment sit on y'all for a minute. Oh, Lord. That's so good. That is so good, sweetheart. Happy Friday, says Shelby. Thank you. Thank you. Since the Muppet Show is now on Disney Plus, do you hope that Muppets Tonight will show up? And what was it like working with Steve Whitmire and his beautiful full head of hair? I love Steve Whitmire, okay? I love Steve Whitmire. What a great question, Shelby. What a great question. Steve Whitmire is one of the most fun, upbeat, supportive, wonderful people, and he loves cats. Not the show cats. He loves kitty cats. Oh, he is a kitty cat guy. When I first met Steve Whitmire, which was in the 80s, Steve and his wife told me they had a cat room, a room devoted to their, at the time, 9 cats. Loves cats. Loves cats. And cats love Steve. And he's always got a kind word, a bright, sunny face for me. He's always been very supportive. He's just great. And on Dinosaurs, he did Robbie. And the suit performer, Leif Tilden, and I both agree that he should have done the voice for Robbie. He did a great voice. And the voiceover guy was good. It's just that we love Steve, and Steve's really good. Steve was so loved that Jim Henson handpicked Steve Whitmire to be Kermit the Frog. Long before Jim died, as I understand it, Jim chose Steve to succeed him as Kermit the Frog. And this is what creators have to do when you're like Jim Henson. You have to think about what's going to happen after you leave the earth. And obviously, Jim wanted to make sure that he gave permission to one of his performers so that if the Henson Company came to Steve Whitmire and Jim Henson hadn't actually sat down with Steve and said, I want you to do Kermit should anything happen to me, Steve might be a little reluctant because it's a little weird. And Steve was very close to Jim. Jim was very close to his initial team. So all the team, like Dave Goelz and Steve Whitmire and Kevin Clash and all of them that, Jerry Nelson and if I'm not naming you, you know who you are, right? Doing all these wonderful characters. Frank Oz, duh. All of you super close to Jim, and he loved every single one of you so much, and you loved him so much. So you would not want to do something that you might think would hurt even the spirit of Jim Henson. So Jim made sure that he had a conversation with Steve, as I understand it, and told him he was to be Kermit the Frog. And he's just a really supportive, giving, special person. So it was great to see him on the BerettaBrothers.com and the Beretta Brothers TV show where we were all brought together. I got very emotional because I miss Steve. I think Steve is one of the most just a real good person. He's real ethical. He's real generous, and he's not a liar. So you can't always find that in the film industry. You can cross some liars, some self-serving people, and Steve's always not been that person. So I just love Steve Whitmire. I love his Rizzo Rat. Rizzo Rat was one of my favorite characters when I watched The Muppet Show. I think he said his first character was, and I can't remember, was it Fifi, Miss Piggy's dog? I think was the first character he ever got to do. I could be wrong. But I think that was the first character, and that endeared not only him to the team of Muppeteers, but Jim Henson especially. And on he went to do more and more cool stuff. So I want to thank you for this question, because he's great. Muppets Tonight. Some of the shows of Muppets Tonight, some of the shows of the Muppet Show that I did, some of them are great, some of them are not so great. I don't like watching Fozzie Bear steal, because he doesn't. I don't like watching Miss Piggy be mean or Kermit be mean. That's not what they're about. But I do know that what this will do is maybe excite Disney in doing more Muppet stuff. And I hope they do. And I hope I get to be a part of it. I would love to. I love that group. I love that team. It's a pleasure to work with them. And I'd love to do that. I love Whoopi, says Angie. So do I. Whoopi Goldberg was a fun person to work. I worked this horrible movie called Theodore Rex with my dear friend Bruce Lanoyle. But Whoopi was a major part of that. Whoopi played a police officer her partner was a dinosaur. So there was Dinosaur Police, and then there was Whoopi. This movie wasn't that great. It's called T-Rex, but Whoopi was just a joy to work with. A lot of times a movie is fun to do, but not really a good movie. I'm sure you can think of some. I can think of some. But it was really great to work with Whoopi, because Whoopi really would sit down with me, not only as a woman. She really protected me as a puppeteer, but she went to bat for me as a puppeteer, and she gave of herself to me and my family like no one else in my entire. She actually called my father and invited him down to the set, and then she sent her brother, which was also her driver, was her brother. Isn't that cool? And her brother went and got my dad, and then brought my dad back to the set. And then my dad sat next to Whoopi while she explained what we were doing as puppeteers on this terrible movie called T-Rex. And my dad, to this day, just adores her. He just thought, what a generous person to take a Black man who's a telephone man. No one special, according to my father, even though he's my hero, and just loving on him. And Whoopi's like that. She's that kind of a person, and she's just a real stand-up person, and just so sweet. She was so good to my father. To this day, he cannot stop talking about how wonderful Whoopi Goldberg is. But the movie wasn't great, but working with the people was really great. Getting to work with her was really great, and a lot of fun. So if you can stomach T-Rex, it's not the best movie. Little kids will tend to argue. They seem to love it. But Whoopi just would sit with us. I remember sitting outside her trailer and her saying, you got to remember, if you become a famous person, fame is the part that's the tough part of, you want to do your work and you love your work. But many actors don't really want to be famous. They just like to do their work. But of course, that comes with it. So it's the bitter that you have to kind of deal with the sweet. Some take to it nicely, others it keeps you from shopping on your own and enjoying areas of your own. You got to make sure you've got bodyguards, and you just gotta because paparazzi just get in there and get in your face. But she didn't say all that stuff. What she just said is fame is a part of it, and you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. And then she also said that you need to keep around you people who were your friends before you became famous, because they're the ones that are really going to tell you the truth. And I've really taken that to heart, because although I'm not famous, I'm well known. And having those friends that knew me beforehand, I can sit with, and they, just kind of keep me grounded, because sometimes you can float up in the air and be full of yourself. And I don't want to be floating up in the air and being full of myself. And Whoopi Goldberg made it very clear, this is how you stay grounded as an artist and a performer. And should you catapult yourself to a YouTube star or a TikTok influencer or whatever, all of a sudden you wake up and you find yourself being fallen by millions instead of a few thousand or whatever it is, or thousands instead of a few hundred, or 100 instead of 2. You need to understand that's responsibility. To all of you who follow me, it's not just about, me. It's about taking care of you too. At least I think so. And so I really have to be aware of what level do I want to be, and will I have control of it? I don't know, but it's a huge responsibility. And I've heard it from people like McKenna, who is known for his photography and his filmmaking and his reviews and stuff. Peter, he even has like a backpack named after him. He's got millions of followers, but there's a responsibility he has to them. And then how does your life integrate with that responsibility? So you may think it would be great to be a star at something, but what does that do to your family balance? And you have to kind of think about that. So I really enjoy looking at these people who are huge influencers on social media to understand what direction I'm going and how I want to go and how I want to take care of you guys when I go there. So that's the deal, but I love her. I love Whoopi very much. And she did get me one time because I was working on T-Rex, and I'm not a big Clive Barker fan. I really don't like how gory his books get. And I'm just not a fan of his books. Okay. Just not. I'm just not. And I told this to Whoopi, and the next thing you know, she had Clive Barker come to the set, and she says, "Terri, tell Clive what you think of his writing." But I did. I told him, "Clive, you're not my cup of tea, buddy. It's just a little too gory. I tend to like more suspense than a lot of blood and guts. And I'm happy that you're successful, but you're not the first book I pick up." I really was honest. And Whoopi was very surprised because she thought she was going to punk me. And she did actually punk me and put me on the spot. But I mean, I don't want to talk behind somebody's back. I don't think that's cool. So it wouldn't be right to say to Clive, "Oh, I don't know what Whoopi's talking about," because I really am not Hellraiser. No, sorry. No, so, but good for Clive for being successful. Right. And he was a nice guy. He took it all in stride. He said, "I'm not everybody's cup of tea." I said, "Yeah, like mine." So, but Whoopi did get me. She did. She got me. She got me. Hello, Noel McDaniel. He says hi to Liz. Big fan of Disneyland Run Paris page. Yes, she's very good. Liz and I met at a Disneyland Paris run, the very, very first, known as the inaugural. And I went because I designed the Dragon's Lair in Paris and many attractions in Paris were my first as an Imagineer that I helped design and then build. And Liz was there, and we met, and we've been friends ever since. So we really had a good time. And I had to do the inaugural Paris run because that's my perk. So good for you, Noel, for saying hello to her and telling that she'd see her name. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure she put that all together, Noel. So, Holly Mack says, "I'm in the exact same boat with WandaVision. I love it, but nothing about Marvel. It's been fun to watch with my husband." Bingo. Bingo. That's exactly right. And doesn't it feel good, Holly, that the people who created WandaVision seem to have thought about us on the sidelines, as we have our husbands who are just so into it, or we have our sons or our daughters that are really into it. And then as the outsider, we're just kind of like, and then when your husband, I'm sure you've been through here, where your husband starts to explain it and your eyes cross and you're like, "Oh God, can you just give me the Cliff Notes?" And you're trying not to be mean because they're so excited to tell you. It's like me talking about Star Wars, and someone just wants to know, "What's that green character?" And I go, "Oh, Guido." And then I talk about the whole thing, and they're kind of like, "I just wanted to know the name," So I get it. So thank you for stating that. And I'm so glad you and your husband are enjoying it like me and mine are. Yeah, Deanna. Deanna's watching me, have a glitch again. Did you have anything to do with Fraggle Rock? I did not. However, I did love Fraggle Rock. Cute, sweet, adorable. Not before on my time. Sideline, I think. I'm trying to remember the timing in Fraggle Rock. But Jim was in New York for a great deal. He was East Coast, East Coast, East Coast. And then I didn't really go to the East Coast except for once. But when he came to the West Coast, that's when my life started changing for the better as far as Muppets were concerned. And one thing I loved about Jim Henson is that one of the things in the West Coast for being a puppeteer is you were rarely cast. A woman, let me say that again. A woman was rarely cast unless she did a voice. So unless the character needed a female voice, the women were very rarely cast on the West Coast. Then Jim came over, that all changed. He cast us equally, whether we had a voice or not, and I loved him for it. I think that was one of the most endearing things about Jim Henson is that he really didn't see male or female. He saw talent, and I really love him for it. So yeah, he saw that was not always the case on the West Coast. I'm just saying. You had a meeting. Well, welcome back, Bonnie. And shout out to Leo. I hope you saw that, Leo. Have I heard from Daniel? Or has Leo heard from Daniel is the question there. Yeah, she can specify. Give me. Here she is. Morning, gorgeous. So happy to see you. So I spoke about Janny. Janny's part of Terri's tribe. She is an amazing painter, and she's the one I was talking about that does use recycled materials. So she's good for the planet, and she's great with her art. And she just posted on our special private Facebook page a walkthrough because she had painted these amazing doors. Yes, as in, she does a lot of that. She does a lot of cool door paintings for people. So if you have a door and it needs a beautiful art piece on it, she's the one you might talk to. Now, the thing is on Terri's tribe, though, you can actually chat with her and she'll kind of talk to you about doing one of your own. So that's the other cool thing in the tribe. We help each other. You can reach out to Jenny and say, hey, I'd like to paint my door. What do you use? And she'll suggest a few things. She's done that for me. I'm not painting any doors lately, but I wanted to do a mural. I've never done a mural before in outdoors. And she was very helpful in telling me, what I might use and know that I may have to refresh it every so often. But when I painted that mural, I did it on the side of my high school. So I was 15, 16, 17 years old. And I think paints have kind of changed since then. When I watched YouTube, the stuff is more vibrant. It's not as toxic in many cases. So talking with Jenny, because she does do quite a few murals and spray can versus paintbrush, because many artists do use a paintbrush and they don't use air cans, or they use air cans to do the accent, or vice versa. So it's been great to have someone like her talk to everybody. It's lovely. Hello, Leslie Smith. She says she was at Earl Sandwich yesterday downtown Disney and it was great. Yeah. And I'm sure you stayed safe, didn't you, Leslie? She's also a youngster. So, it's all about staying safe and then having a good time. Stay safe. I was supposed to go to England last year too. Man, it would be so cool to meet more of your fabulous peeps. Absolutely. And Jenny, we could work that out, I'm thinking wouldn't it be wonderful if you and I, Jenny, and Chris McCauley could go over to his digs over in Ireland? Wouldn't that be just and see everybody and let's talk about, talk about Great Britain, talk about Scotland, talk about cool stuff. I mean, that would be really neat. Yeah. And if Ivano wanted to come, Ivano could come along too. Ivano's not out of it. In fact, everyone could kind of gather if we could do it. So Yeah, I think it's good. It's good for us to dream about the day when that's going to happen, because it'll come. We just have to be patient, but it will come. So I'm so excited. I really. Plus, I want to come up to Canada and see you two guys, and do an art thing where we teach people all kinds of cool art. Your seniors are getting their shots, but I think it will be a bit for the rest of us. Exactly. Exactly. And so we have to be careful. We have to realize that just because you get the vaccine doesn't mean you're immune. It does mean that you're more to be immune, but it doesn't mean you can't spread it. So you still got to do the distancing and the mask, but you've got a barrier to take care of you. And that's why I'm celebrating, because my parents, I worried about my parents, and bless them. They're just they're safe. They're in a good spot. So, and my sister, who's single, she's younger. She's 3 years younger than I am. So she's even further away, but she also has a health condition that I hope will allow her to get it early. So, prayer. Yay for the cat lover. I knew you were going to say that, Deanna. I knew you were going to say yay for the cat lover. And Jenny says, let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. So exactly like I said before, there's lots of things that you are welcome to ask me about. My husband on the Christmas holidays gave me a set of these amazing paints, acrylic paints, and I'm dying to use them. I think that might be something that is kind of pulling me in the direction of sitting down and pulling up a canvas and having at it. I also have a couple of things teeming in my head as far as designs of my own that tend to make the Disney struggle, because I only have 2 hands. And I'm not like many houses that do a lot of sculptures. All my sculptures come from my hands originally. I don't take any other sculptor's work and put my name on it. I'm very much against that. That's just me. Okay. Many artists will say, if it's sculpted under my brand, it's my vision and they work for me, that like a Disney sculptor, right? But I'm different. If you're going to get a Terri Hardin sculpture, it's got to come from my 2 hands, which means I'm limited to how much production I can do, which is one of the reasons I only usually do 50 pieces of everything. That's it. My edition is 50, done. I did do the Blacklight Ghosts a little more this time, because the manufacturer, as a gift to me, was kind enough to say, we can bring those in as they're ordered. Okay. So this is the first set of orders. I think I've sold about 10 or 15 sets of the Blacklight Ghost, limited to 100. And when I get some more orders in, I'll put an order with him and I'll do them in increments, kind of like the Illuminating Ghosts. So they're cool about that. It just depends on, what you like, what you want, how you want to move forward. I think when more people get to see them, or when you see me live and you get to touch them, you'll buy them. So we'll just, patience is a virtue, and that's why I don't build them. I pre-sale them first, so I know that you want them, and then I build them. So that's a note to you as an artist. If you're going to do a series of anything, make sure that your clients want it. And if they do, which you do, you've made it very clear, then you pre-buy it, you pre-purchase it, and then I move forward. That just shows you've got skin in the game, and I'm not becoming bankrupt because I thought of an idea that didn't work. That's a way to do it, so that you don't end up in a situation where it doesn't work. Okay. So shooting various things. Would I like to do the Muppets? I'd love to do the Muppets. I think it would be a lot of fun to do the Muppets again, work with people. But Muppets is owned by Disney right now. And so they have a different Kermit the Frog. They have different people. So will they come to me like they did when Jim was alive? I don't know. So I reach out and I say I'd like to do it, and they have my name. So it's really up to them. But if let's say it doesn't happen. Let's say Muppets goes on and they don't bring me in as a puppeteer for whatever reason, you know? Maybe they don't want a 64-year-old or 63-year-old or whatever the reason. This is a chance for me to do my own. So I'll work on a show that I'll put on the internet and I'll make it my own puppet show because just like you, I'm clever enough to do it. I do voices and I build puppets, so I've got everything it needs. Plus, I have a lot of people that I know that are also really talented puppeteers that would love to work together with me on a project, and vice versa. If they were doing a project and they wanted my help or assistance, I would do the same thing. So it's all good. It's all good. I've got lots to do. I would love to be a part of the Muppets. Just as much as I would have loved to have been part of the latest Ghostbusters, but it just didn't happen. And I really didn't even care if I just made an appearance and then left or got to do a monster and then split. But it is what it is, you know? And so you stay upbeat, you stay positive, and you just hang tough, you know? You just hang tough. What do we got here? Forgive me, maybe I missed it, but as I order the Hitchhiking Ghost pin, where do we add a donation for the signature? No. Bonnie, you are, but good question. Bonnie, you're a rock star. You are so cute. No. You order it from me at terrihardin.com, okay? It comes with my signature. You don't have to pay more. No. When you get it from me, you're buying the pin, the signature comes with it. Or you're buying the signature and the pin comes with it. Either way, you get it. So Bonnie, you are absolutely perfect. And thank you. You are so sweet to ask that question. But no, when you buy directly from me, they all come with my signature underneath the embossed signature. Okay. But I'm just talking to the people who buy from Joshua because Joshua Schaefer has a great pin store on Etsy. You may have bought it on Etsy and you want it signed, you know, so, but you got to wait for me to sign it. Right. So we'll work it out. Just write to me because, you know, I love you guys. So I want you happy. But Bonnie, that was such a nice thing for you to say, is to donate on top of that. But no, you buy your pin and it comes to you signed. I'm mailing them out this weekend. Woohoo! Doesn't that look cute? This little light blue is so neat. Something as simple as the light blue instead of the black. Wow. Just wow. Right? Right? Wow. I just had to take a minute because this is such a nice question Bonnie asks, and I'm really glad you did that, Bonnie, because that just touched my heart right there. Thank you so much. You're just a good person, as y'all are. So yay. So everyone, this weekend I have the podcast that I'm working on, or the meeting with the ladies. Beyond Boundaries, and I hope you'll join us for that on their Facebook page. Just Google Beyond Boundaries. Also, want you to know, if you're in the February ghost line of people, I will be sending you, what I'll probably do today is send you a heads up. Heads up, I'm going to be sending you the envelope or something, the tracking number. Okay. And then I probably won't send tracking numbers for the ghost pins that I'm sending out, but I might. Okay. So I'll just kind of play that by ear because there's an awful lot, and they have been getting to you guys very quickly. In fact, faster than I can put out the tracking number, you're getting them. And this is after the post office told me it could not be that way. So yeah, so know that it's going to come safe. It's going to have, like, the pins are basically going to be in a cool envelope. You'll get a cool envelope. I won't send them. I doubt that I might send them in these. And if I do, it's going to have a cool sticker on here just for you. But these are nice. Very, very nice. And the manufacturer who did the pins sent them to us. I guess they thought they were extra special, so they sent us these nice little envelopes. So that what may be what I do is just put the label on here and get it to you quickly, easily, efficiently. But you'll have it. It'll be in a plastic like this, so it'll be all specially protected like this, and it will go inside like this. The signature will be on the back, and then he'll be like this, and then they'll go in this little pocket right here like that, and there you go. And then your label will be here, and you'll get to open it up and then share with everybody on social media how much fun and how much you love it, and show that glow effect, and tag me on it, because I'll love to see how your creativity works on it. Okay. And I want to thank you guys so much for today. We'll end a little early today, because why not? I'm sure you got stuff to do. My husband is actually on vacation, so he and I are going to have a quick chat. I want to see if he wants lunch. He's going to be checked out by the dentist today, and I want to see if he wants me to make him lunch. So this allows me to jump off and go make him some lunch before his early appointment. And then I'll stay in touch. If you have any questions, if you have anything you want to reach out to me to do, you can message me. You can look at me over here on Instagram. You can email me. You can, Terri at terrihardin.com. You can also find it on the website, and the website's changing a little bit. So don't be confused. Don't be frightened. If you can't find the online store, should the picture change or something, we are in process of updating it, because it really didn't have a lot on there, and it's time it has it on there. So it's the one-stop place you can go to learn about classes, which are coming, about where I'm going to be, which is coming, about getting to the online store, the shortest distance between 2 points, etc., etc., etc. So I love you guys. Do something nice for someone. It'll make you feel so much better. If you go, let me say that again, when you go to this amazing California adventure, or you go to see the new Star Wars thing, post it and tag me. I'd love to live vicariously through you. Okay? All right. We will talk soon. I love you bunches and bunches. And let's see. What do we got here? We've got order placed. Yay. Good job, Bonnie. And we've got have a great weekend. Deanna's always good about that. And so is Bonnie. I love you guys. Be well. Be safe. Subscribe if you want to. Join Patreon if you'd like to. And I'll see you soon. Take care for now. Bye for now. Oh, I got to